So imagine you're sitting on a plank suspended between two chairs and just bounce nicely. So this area here, up, down. Put your hands like this and feel they're going up, down. Try and relax your knees and ankles. And slow it down. You can see it's not that far. I'm only bouncing an inch or two, less than that, an inch maybe. But then slow down. And then stop on the lower, stop down. Okay, if you can. If you find that's going to be too much for you, come up a bit. This way we can strengthen the legs. Now for the muscles of the thing, what you want to put your hands like this, so one hand on the xiphoid. That's the you come down your sternum, where your sternum becomes your abdomen, soft becomes soft, bone becomes soft. Then one hand on there, the other hand just above the waist. Now it would be possible to do this. If you look at my hands, I could keep my hands almost the same distance apart and bend forward, so my bottom goes back like this. And this is not what we want to do. What we want to do is to feel that this area, these abdominal muscles, are being contracted. To do this, we feel that the hands approach each other. This hand comes down and this hand comes slightly up. Not too much though, we don't want to kind of do this. We want to feel this stays, it's like your bottom's against the wall, but you have a sense, mostly think this hand. So this lower back, don't kind of do this, just and then you open and then you can stretch out here. Try like you're straight. You don't want to use great muscular force. It's not like a bulwark or something that you're trying to force the hands. Your body's very relaxed. It's just natural that the your muscles here will contract and stretch open. And this will naturally stretch open the lower back muscle. And this movement, so we're kind of accessing all the things. So although we don't really want to use muscular force, if we imagine we were for a moment, just to get the idea, if you put your hands down like this, while you're in the closed position, imagine you've got two massive gold bullion, you're taking all your savings out, gold bullion fools, suitcases, and you lift with all the muscles of the body and slightly overstretch and then lower them back down. So here when you lower, you use this action, sit down a bit, and then so you feel that in order to lift a heavy object, you have to brace into the ground. You have to feel you push out of the ground. And it's these thigh muscles, in fact, the psoas muscle going through the body, accessing the strength in the legs and joined with these muscles of your lower back and your abdomen, which provide all your strength. You don't do this because your arms would be relatively useless. You'd be accessing all the core muscles to do this. So when we do these exercises every week, we should think more like this. And when we go down, we can look at the floor. Okay? So we're kind of looking down at the floor. And then we lift, we can overdo and look up a little bit. But we're still sat. Remember, we've looked at this before. Don't do this. Okay, so you keep the lower body, you drop a bit. Now, this force coming up the body, we feel like we press into the floor. These muscles sort of work hardest, if you like, but we can't move unless we press into the floor. I mean, that's just the way it is. We have to brace to the floor. We put the arms down like this. And then instead of thinking the suitcases, think you've got a massive, like, bold, I know what it is, big round boulder, like in strongest men in the world sort of thing. They lift these boulders and you lift up like this, and this lifts the arms. Oh. And then when you're going down, there's a slight feeling of pulling something down or pressing something down with your back of your arms here, pressing something down. So you see you're lifting your arms mostly just from this movement of the body. You're not really doing anything with the arms. You're just holding this weight. However, we have a little loop movement in the arms. So when the arms are going down, we extend the arms a bit like this. And then when we lift from the body, we lift, the arms come closer a bit, they go up. And then as we do this, we turn the hands over, and we have the holding the suitcase. Yeah. Remember, big yang. And now you want to feel this here. You pull down, you're thinking here. You're thinking these muscles, not the arm. And then the dropping of this is what pushes the arms down through the water or whatever you're imagining. And then you're using the whole body to lift up. And then you're pressing down to the sides. Yeah? So as you go down, you feel your hands pressing down. You know, the body, your main bulk of the body is obviously going to move your shoulders. The shoulders are pushing the elbows down. The elbows are pushing the hands down. So here you want to be contained, not like this. You want to feel like this is all closed. Even the chest is slightly closed. Yeah? And here all open. Okay, relax. So we have this strong feeling of accessing all the muscles. However, there's no big weights, obviously. So even though we're doing this, we're sending this like paradoxical message to the body to completely relax and be effortless. It cannot be effortless because it has to lift the weight of your own body. Your own arm is heavy. Your body is heavy. You know, when you do something like this, your muscles are supporting your body. You don't feel it because we're very strong and we're used to it, but basically you can't move anything without your muscles. So your muscles will move the way we want them to, but you don't want to feel you're sort of going, trying to lift some, you know. So it's like you move as though something's there, but there's nothing there. So you concentrate more, totally relaxation. Let's do that again a couple more times, just thinking about that. So we do the same thing, like we're lowering weights or getting ready to pick up a weight, and we're just really checking we're relaxed, the spine's soft, the shoulders, arms are like hanging here. Remember, this is yin, the head's hanging. This is tucked under, a weight on the coccyx. We're sitting down, the weight's centered. And then when we come up, although we access all the muscles, we think that this is incredibly light thing now. It's like it was heavy, but it's incredibly light. And when we go down, it's like we could just let go because yin, we could just give up to gravity. And have a very slight feeling of pressing down, but very slight. Feel really, the reason we do it in the muscular way was to access the correct movement. Okay, that's excellent, good. All right, that's very good. So keeping the body as soft as possible as we move means that, you know, if we tense the body, then we're just sort of cutting off the blood supply. If we relax the body, we have nice good blood supply, or more importantly, qi. Okay, so there's another aspect of the idea of qi, which is that the saying is, where the attention goes, the qi accumulates, or quite simply, you can say where the mind goes, the qi goes. And this is a long-held sort of idea, you know, thousands of years old. And it sort of comes from a lack of sophistication of knowledge about the nervous system. And it was seen to explain why we feel sensations in the way we do. Like if you just stand and concentrate on the center of your palms, if you shut your eyes and just concentrate on your center of your palms or front of the palms themselves, you just keep your mind doing that, you start to feel change take place as because biologically you're sending impulses down through your nervous system to the receptors in the hands to feel what's going on. You're listening to the feedback. But as you do this more consistently, there's actual feedback coming from the firing of the reactions taking place in the hand itself. So you feel like tingling, something like this. Yeah, okay, shake out. So it's just a natural thing. So the idea is to try and move, that if we start with our attention in the feet, and then we gradually start feeling up and feel the ankles, and you feel the lower legs, and then gradually feel the knees, gradually feel up the thighs, hips, feel inside the abdomen, feel the chest, feel up, feel all the face, back of the, and up and down. You can feel, and then go down with your mind. You can kind of feel your body. And in order to make it more fluid, we can actually think of it being fluid, or the energy being like fluid or whatever. So if we start here again, and we imagine like we're now empty of fluid, and then we watch and feel in the feet as we start to move, this energy come and feel the feet, ankles, and then as we come up, gradually it fills up to the knees, and we feel it going up the thighs. We feel it coming into the hips. We feel it filling the torso, filling the chest to here, filling the shoulders and neck, going up into the arms, through the elbows, through the wrists, and into the fingers. And when it hits the fingers, we imagine the fingers swell as they get this filling. Yeah. So we're full of energy. And when we go down, we do the opposite. We imagine straight away, there's like a switch. As soon as we've switched on, we'll start going back down. We don't want to stop here for a while. It's like we finish here, immediately we finish here, we want to contract back again. Like the energy fills the hands, and then it goes back. Back down from the top of the head as well. Back down, draining back down through the joints, feeling going through the wrist, elbows, into the shoulders, emptying the chest, filling the abdomen, emptying the abdomen through the hips, down through the legs, knees, ankles, things. So you can do this either to your natural breath, or you can, if you want, time it with your breath. So draw the energy up. And as soon as you get to the top, you imagine it going back down. You feel it going down through your body. So you're trying to get this feeling of a wave of movement coming up the body, all the way up to the hands, fingertips, and then immediately draining back down the body. It never stops. As soon as it drains out the feet, immediately starts filling again. So if you don't use the breath and just use the movement for a bit, and you just make sure you never stop. Just think about the energy coming up the body, and then you can tie in with your breath. Okay, that's absolutely brilliant. Relax. So that's one of the ways, and moving. There's lots of different ways of moving the chi. These are just two simple ones. The other main one, which we tend to use more in silk reeling, is we move the chi from the center out to the periphery and back to the center. Okay, and most of you have done it before, but we'll have a look again. Remember, one consistent thing is happening here, and that's going to be the movement of the body. The only difference in the movement of the body now will be we're going to put the feet in a slightly different, just for the first one, and then we're going to change it again. This is simple. It's just to help us understand it. Put the feet together. Keep the toes together, but separate your heels. Keep the heels on the ground, but separate the toes. Now keep the toes where they are and separate the heels. So basically, you're looking for, you just get into this posture. You're looking for a reasonably sized posture, slightly knock-kneed, not really knock-kneed, it's just natural for the knees to be like this because they follow the toes, and the toes slanted inwards. Otherwise, just the same as normal. Now, when we do the going down to pick up use the same method to pick up the suitcases, naturally, because of the configuration of the legs, your knees will come towards each other. And then when you lift up, they should return back to a more like solid place. So when we do this, you feel the knees naturally tend to go, you're sitting, use these muscles, and then you're coming up. So the actual physical movement is the same. If you put your feet out like this and did it, the knees would naturally tend to go out with the body. Yeah? If you put the knee, then if there's forwards, they go forward. So when we have them in like this, the knees tend to go in. It's just a natural thing. Okay, now lift the arms. Don't forget everything else we've done about the arms, because we don't want to kind of, you don't want to be like this. Your arm is a natural length. You know? If you look at your arm or feel your arm, it's not, you don't hold your arms like this unless there's something wrong with your arm. You have your arm like this. Yeah. You don't do this with your wrist when you're standing there. It's just like this. And so this shape of the arm, and you want the fingers open, the shape of the arm stays exactly the same. So you don't want to change it as the arm comes up. But the arm can be anywhere now. Let's do both arms. They want to be forwards of the body. They could be right forwards like this, or you can have them anywhere along this thing. Not quite, almost to the sides, not quite, anywhere around here. And they could be a little bit lower, or they can be higher. That's up to you. Yeah, I would normally do it about my fingers about the height of my ears. My elbows feel heavy, my shoulders feel heavy. Okay. And what's going to happen with the arms? You want to, let's look at one arm. We've done this before. The arm's going to drop. The elbow's going to drop like this. And as it drops, though, we're going to turn the hand over. We've done this a lot. We're going to turn the hand over. And the elbow's going to drop in towards our center like that, to the side like this. And the hand is going to fold over. But because we're going forwards as well, we're going to let the hand come more in towards the elbow, come in more towards the navel. Yeah, and then then you want to feel like you've got something in your hand. If you did it straight forward, you're going to push something away like this. Push it away like this. Yeah, slightly to the side. But you want to feel there's something here, and you push it away. And as it pushes away, your hand goes back to where it was, like this shape, not this. So it folds one way. Do the other one just to check. The other one works. Shoulder down, elbow drops, the hand turns over. You've done this a lot. Hand turns over, and it comes in towards your thing. So if you do both, it's like elbows are dropping and the elbows drop simultaneously, the hands turn over, you end up like this. But because you're going to do this at the same time with the body, you're going to have the elbows slightly more together, which closes the front of the body, but it opens your shoulder blades. You can feel it opens your shoulder blades. And then using the muscles here and thinking now there's something really, it's like you want to push something like a van or something and you can't push because it's too heavy, but you're trying. And then eventually you expand, and you push it away. Yeah. Going back is a little bit like if you want to think it muscular, if you think you're like Samson in the temple and you're chained to these pillars and you try to pull them up, you try to pull the pillars down and suddenly they go and you pull them down like this. And then you push back up like this. So the actual physical thing is a contraction towards the center. You want to actually feel like your legs are pulling up. It's like you're trying to do this, but obviously you can't do that unless you jump. So you feel your feet are pulling up, your hands are pulling in, your head's pulling down, everything pulls into the center. And then from the center, everything pushes back to the feet. You push down into your feet because you need to get your power into the hands. Use your body to push. Every part of your body is going to be involved in that push. Every part of your body is involved in the pull. One more time. Imagine a really heavy thing. Push, 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 push. Out. And at the end, let your hands, you don't have to do this, but let your hands do this. And then everything, yeah. Okay, relax. So once again, when we do it properly, we don't want to be Samson anymore. There's no pillars, and we want to be totally relaxed, effortless, etc. Just natural way to your body. You don't even realize it's there because we're so strong. So what I'll just show you first. If some of you have seen this before, but I just, some of you may not. But if I imagine that every cell of my body had a thread that was attached to it and led to the center, so my dantian, about an inch below the navel inside my body, the dantian. So it doesn't matter where the cell is, wherever it is, it's got a thread that leads to the center. Yeah, leads to the center. And then they get to the center, and they're all woven by little creatures inside my abdomen into numbskulls. No, they're in the head. A little thing into a rope. Yeah. So when I pull the rope, as soon as I pull the rope, the cells in the feet are pulled towards the center. The cells in the fingers are pulled to the center. The cells in the head are pulled to the center. Every cell is pulled to the center. The more I pull, the more it pulls in. The more contracted I get, the more I pull. And when I let go, everything goes back in a nice, even way, back to where it was. Okay. So make sure you've got the position. Doesn't matter. Don't have to do it like that. And then everything pulls in. So your chin gets pulled in. It's like going from your forehead. It's like externally though. You've got one on the elbow that's pulled in, external ones, the knees as well. Yeah, external and internal thrust. Push out. And then we do what's called reverse breathing. So we would breathe in as we effortlessly contract to the center. And we breathe out as we effortlessly expand back to the head. Back to the hands and feet. Okay, now if you think that, stop here, that all those threads are energy lines. And when you pull, these are carriers of energy, and all these energy lines pull into the center. You feel, so stand here, imagine already they're being pulled. Imagine someone's pulling here, but you're not yet moving, but you feel the body's already starting to contract. It's like if you had some rope and you pulled it, you have to wait for the rope to tighten before it works. Yeah? And then everything you imagine, all the energy pulling in from the feet, from the top of the head, from the hands. Stop here a minute. Imagine you're opening, but something's stopping you, but feel like you sort of expand inside, and then you feel that from here, everything moves out, and you feel energy moving out to the feet, to the fingers, to the top of the head, to everywhere. Breathe in. Make it effortless. Check you're moving from here. Keep going. Check you're moving from